Thank you for visiting the CoinSeries channel again. An alarming pattern emerges. Stuart Eldorado, Ripple's lead lawyer, has been vocal about the SEC's massive blunders this year. Most importantly, the court found that the SEC was hypocritical due to its conflicting arguments and lack of true commitment to the law. The judge's harsh comments in the SEC v. Ripple case had no positive effect on Coinbase. After much deliberation, the court has decided that the SEC did not act in good faith when it did not respond to Coinbase's request for rulemaking on cryptocurrency. The SEC denied misconduct once again today. "Listen, we're confused," the entire industry claims. "Send us the bare minimum of instructions, please. It is important to adhere to the rules." Their repeated denial of service has prompted them to seek judicial redress. In 2023, the court found that the SEC had engaged in arbitrary and capricious decision-making due to its inconsistent handling of similar things. Also, I'll be the first to confess that I played about with Grayscale versus SEC. My sincere apologies. They have failed to accomplish this on multiple occasions. They can't be unkind to cryptocurrency by saying they have a product for futures trading, but nothing for spot trading. Everything they do here will be watched. Is the promotion of a spot product appropriately approved? On the other hand, should we return to court to resolve this? Hearing these individuals' absurd arguments is becoming increasingly tedious for the judges. Finally, in the SEC versus DEP case, the court has asked the SEC to justify its decision not to be sanctioned for giving false and misleading information. Their statement, "Hey, DEP box is trying to move money overseas," was a significant admission. Nothing they're doing is based on fact, and it's all unlawful. They also frozen the company's assets and bank accounts as part of their extreme steps. Interestingly, that wasn't their plan all along. They need to act immediately because the courts would punish us severely if we did this. Hopefully, that will be the case. You can't beat the price. Where does 2024 take us? Ripple and Stuart's predictions will be examined. However, I must admit that I do not believe the SEC to be as apathetic as these individuals. Assuming this will continue indefinitely seems to be their attitude. I promise you, they're really out of options here. A significant portion of their business will also revolve around the crypto area. It is exerting an excessive amount of power. You will now face BlackRock loyalists and others like them because they desired your substantial sum of money. Going forward, these games aren't exactly useful. It appears that there is still much work ahead of us. Nevertheless, headway has been achieved. These predictions for 2024 indicate that the industry is working to make 2023 a thing of the past and that a new paradigm is beginning to take form. There was no doubt that we faced a plethora of regulatory hurdles this year. In a way, it's cool to go to court, argue over this, and hopefully receive some guidance. The SEC has declined our requests for advice from the courts. That being said, I think we have accomplished a lot this year. It has been a difficult year. Despite the difficulties, we have achieved much and discovered numerous answers this year. According to Ripple, the cryptocurrency industry is no longer courting traditional financial institutions. Honestly, it isn't required. Rather than groveling for BlackRock, Fidelity, banks, or money transmitters, we should point out that they are entering the cryptosphere because they really must. Furthermore, this is crucial. Multinational financial institutions and powerful businesses are aggressively seeking digital asset solutions. Everything from financial goods to on-demand liquidity that makes use of the cryptocurrency falls under this category. Due to the extensive use of cryptocurrencies and their incorporation into traditional finance, Ripple predicts that adoption rates will keep soaring in 2024. We aim to achieve that because we believe that the technology's broad adoption will sustainably boost demand and, consequently, valuations. Finally, banks are wading into asset tokenization. If I mess with these systems and create dangerous ones, I need a framework with tight compliance and security standards, along with seamless integration. They need to move quickly if they want this to work. I think this will be an amazing Ripple channel for a few reasons. First and foremost, they will be able to build systems that guarantee compliance. When it comes to integrating with financial institutions, they have extensive experience in this developing sector. And this is where their tech stack truly excels. The XRP ledger is optimized for it. For institutions, this is a golden chance to think about tokenizing their assets. Great. Using our technology stack, you can achieve it. We have had that on board since 2012. Everything about it is familiar to us, and we're ready to jam. If you're looking for a global solution, it's one of the best possibilities. I completely agree with you regarding the anticipated increasing demand in that industry. Everything, including stocks and real estate, will be tokenized so that value transfers are cheap, quick, and universal. Alright. At long last, Stewart Eldorado appears, and in his 2024 forecast, he says, after much delay, the SEC's misleading case against Ripple will finally conclude. We can finally put this fight behind us now. All we have to do is wait to see if the case actually gets to appeals. But with the present setup, we can figure out how much the robots will pay in penalties and fines. They probably didn't source a lot of their sales in the US, so it's probable that it won't amount to much. This includes the institutional sales that were deemed a breach of securities. What was their level of success in the American market, then? The SEC's enforcement-based regulation endeavor, he adds, will likely continue. Okay, I see. They are left to fend for themselves since they lack resources, and the law does not support their cause. The idea of committing the regulations to paper makes them uncomfortable since it would allow them to say one thing today and another tomorrow. Thus, these will probably continue to be the means of enforcing space control, but they're almost exhausted. I was wondering if you were interested in working on another project similar to Ripple. You may probably expect the same result. Taking the case to a higher authority or going through the appeals procedure are also viable options, but they are likely to have the same result. There is a dearth of excellent choices in this region. Judgment is the sole check on the SEC's power, and the agency will continue to lose this battle. That is the most important thing. Let us put it plainly, the current laws do not represent our values or goals. But the law as it is does not classify digital assets as securities. Is anybody oblivious to the fact that the SEC has no business becoming engaged in secondary market transactions involving securities? In my opinion, yes, doing some light reporting would be wise on our part. Our current inventory does not include it, unfortunately. The courts will persistently reject anything labeled as a crypto security due to its lack of constitutionality, regardless of how frequently Gary Gensler asserts his ability to draft laws. In the end, with an eye toward the year 2024, Stewart has a forecast. Because Congress can't seem to agree on the best way to regulate cryptocurrencies, American crypto companies will be left in the dust as their international competitors make strides. It seems a little gloomy to me. I promise you that we are, in fact, moving forward. In court, we prevailed. We are the ones who have won. These deals do not include securities, as anyone familiar with the secondary market for XRP and similar assets will tell you. If we had known nothing about this previously, we could have thought the sales to institutions were safe. Secondary market sales were a further source of trouble. That explanation is now clear because of the RoboCourt case. Of course, a different judge could reach a different conclusion. But it will not happen, at least not in my view. As far as I'm concerned, that was the correct decision. You can't, for instance, suddenly decide that ETFs are stupid. You also can't be unkind to the Bitcoin business, and the SEC continues to lose cases, despite repeatedly disobeying the law in pursuit of its own ends. They will run out of road sooner rather than later if they keep going in this direction. Someone in a courtroom will eventually confront them about it after all the warnings. This cannot go on forever. We will be successful, I believe, in that undertaking. The SEC, I'm afraid, will lose many of these battles. Even worse, the terrible weather makes it hard for me to approve new regulations. I mean, we don't even have a tax plan. For more over 4 years, this government has presided. Is it really going to be the next step for us to define crypto assets? Indeed, but not in all cases. This is a highly profitable spot, that's why. As time goes on, its size increases. Very important. As for you, the most important numbers are engaging with this domain, faithfulness, BlackRock, and related ideas. They want to avoid ambiguity. Sloppy work will not be tolerated. But this is essential for them because expansion is impossible without a base. We have previously discussed this. The market for Apple's cryptocurrency is once again seeing record highs. How much further can this market rise? It will, I assure you. You are aware, aren't you, that property values remain rather high? To me, cryptocurrencies are a great option for anyone looking for a potentially growing asset class that is now undervalued. This opportunity may arise in the next decade. Because of this, you have your key players in your team. If their clients suddenly abandon their money in BlackRock, Fidelity, or any of the other funds and go to Bitcoin, they risk losing management fees. This, which is essential for them, will be delivered to them. We can succeed, in my opinion. Plus, crypto-related items are prone to this. Although it is rare for people of this century and age to be bipartisan, it does happen. Cryptocurrency, however, keeps this from happening, and politicians simply cannot function without it. In that location, the votes will matter the most. Consequently, I am confident that we will succeed in spite of the difficult circumstances. There are probably some things that we can't fix. In my opinion, we will achieve progress. Nevertheless, we may begin by addressing stable coins and then go on to other matters. Specific information about digital assets and what comes next. You can count on our success. We've already won it, and we're getting there faster. Everything is now dependent on timing. Share your thoughts and opinions by posting a comment below. Kindly continue to subscribe and like. Coming up shortly, farewell.